Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the KITZUR HILCHOS SHABBOS. The laws of Hadlakas Ner is lighting the candles Friday night. And this little section is entitled Mihim HaMechuyavim B'Hadlaka, who is obligated to light the Neros. For Kesavnu, we already wrote Shechiv Hadlaka Chal Kol B'nei Habayis. The obligation to light candles in the house really rests upon every member of the house. Ve'alidei Hadlaka Achas, through one person lighting the candles, kulam yotzim as a mitzvah, everybody in the house fulfills the mitzvah. So one person lights for the entire house. It doesn't matter whether the husband is in the house or he's traveling along the way. He is always going to be fulfilled his obligation with the lighting of his wife. For example, if the husband is traveling that Shabbos and he's not home, but his wife lights the neighbors at home, so he's going to fulfill his obligation there. So too, if she's traveling and the husband lights in the house, she fulfills her obligation with the lighting of the husband. Because nevertheless, the candle is burning in the house, and that's the main thing. We'll move on. It's understood if both of them are traveling, but they're not together. He's being somewhere for Shabbos, and she's someplace else for Shabbos, and neither of them are at home. In that case, since no one's lighting in the house, even though that she's going to light the candles wherever she is, he doesn't get his obligation fulfilled, and he's lighting the candles where he's staying. It doesn't fulfill our obligation because they're no longer in the house. So each one would have to light separately. All of this is if in the place where they're staying, they don't have like their own private room to do their stuff. Which means that what? They're eating together with the balabais, with the house where they are in. Maybe they're staying in a private room, but they're just sleeping there, and they eat the meals, of course, in the dining room with everybody else. Since that they're staying in someone else's house, and that person's house that they're staying in lights their candles, and therefore there's Einik Shabbos, there's the pleasure that they get from the candles and the like. They're able to fulfill their obligation of the Shabbos candles, which the people whose home they're staying in is lighting the candles. So since I'm staying someplace else, says the KITZUR HILCHOS SHABBOS over here, and I don't have per se someone that is lighting the candles in my own house, therefore I can fulfill my obligation through them. The same thing applies to the woman as well. However, if the woman would like to light her own Shabbos candles, even though she's in somebody else's house, she's allowed to do that. And therefore she should have in mind that even though that the balabayis of this house is lighting their candles, she should have in mind that she does not want to fulfill her obligation of Adlakas Neros through the lighting of the woman of this house. And therefore she's allowed to light her own candles even in the place where the woman of this house is lighting her candles. And he writes over here, it's better if she, the one that is the guest in the house, could light her candles beforehand. That way it shows that she is lighting for herself and she's not being overshadowed, so to speak, by the candles that are already being lit in the house. It would be better if she could light her candles in the room where she's sleeping, and that way she can have hana, she can have benefit and pleasure from them at night. I don't believe that is the minhag, that is the custom. When you are staying by somebody else's house and you're going to light your candles, even if you have your own private bedroom, most women will end up lighting by the dining room table where the woman of the house is lighting her candles. However, he writes, if she has a room that she can do all of her own activities there, for example, let's say they have a beautiful guest room, or let's say a back house where you're staying and there's a table and there's chairs and therefore you can do other stuff there besides your sleep. As yadlik ba'atzmai v'lo yismach al adlakas beisa. In that case, then you should light on your own and don't rely upon the lighting of the house, because you have your own place and therefore that obligates you in lighting the candles. So a little bit complicated over here, exactly how it's going to work out. But if you're just sleeping by someone's house, so then certainly you should light your candles, and it would seem to be together with the Balas Abayis, with the woman of the house. If you would like to, you can actually light in your room, so that when you come back to sleep that night, the candles are there. And if you have your own special room where you can do other things besides sleeping, couch, table, chairs, you can eat there, you can schmooze there, you can work there. So then, says the KITZUR, you should end up lighting certainly in there, and don't rely upon the lighting of the household itself. All the best.